One Piece. Story was made by Eiichiro Oda. Chapter 15, Gong. The dimly lit streets of Drinker Pub buzzed with anticipation as a figure adorned in a large blue and white checkered scarf with black hair concealing half of his face stood behind Captain Buggy. The mayor, Boodle, tightened his grip on his spear in front of the Buggy pirates. Gazing down with a disdainful expression, Captain Buggy sneered at the mayor. "What's this?" he scoffed. "Did you call for me?" In response, Boodle unleashed a thunderous shout, challenging Buggy with all his might. "I'm the village's leader, Oregon, in other words, the mayor," he proclaimed defiantly. "I'm Boodle! Come down here and fight me!" Laughter erupted from Buggy's crew, mocking the mayor's audacity. "Fight with the captain? Do you actually think you can win?" they jeered. Undeterred, the enigmatic figure took a step forward, addressing Buggy directly. "What is it, Kabaji?" Buggy retorted, his attention momentarily diverted. Leaning closer to his captain, Kabaji declared, "Leave those small fish to me." With a mischievous smile, he placed his hand in his mouth. The crowd erupted into cheers as Kabaji withdrew a long sword from his seemingly bottomless oral cavity, raising it high for all to see. The crewmates, fueled by excitement, hailed Kabaji's acrobatic prowess, showering him with whistles and praises. "It's Kabaji's acrobat show!" Kabaji leaped into the air, executing a flawless mid-air somersault before landing effortlessly on the rails of the roof. Riding on his unicycle, he balanced spinning tops on the tip of his sword, a mesmerizing display of dexterity. Addressing his captain, he confessed, "Because I can't help but feel that recently my skills are starting to rust." He is known as Buggy's second crew member, the chief of staff, Kabaji the acrobat. "Finish him off, Kabaji!" the crewmates roared with delight. Boodle watched Kabaji intently as he held firm with his spear. Buggy interjected, ordering his chief of staff to back off. "You idiot! The one he called for was me. You just stay back." The crewmates, disheartened by their captain's decision, expressed their disappointment. "And we thought we would see Kabaji's acrobat show," they grumbled. Buggy shifted his attention back to the mayor, pointing an accusing finger in his direction. "Hey, why are you challenging me?" he demanded, his voice laced with arrogance. "Do you want fame?" Boodle's proud voice resounded through the air, fueled by his unwavering determination. "That's stupid!" he shouted defiantly. "I'm here because I want to protect this village, because I want to protect my treasure." "Huh?" Buggy was momentarily taken aback by the mayor's response. However, his surprise quickly transformed into laughter. "What an idiot!" he sneered. "The word treasure brings to mind the thoughts of gold, silver, and jewels. The owner has to have some sense of dignity and pride in it before calling it a treasure." Buggy's voice grew louder as he continued, "The village is your treasure? What a bunch of meaningless words!" The old mayor, fueled by a surge of emotions, pushed back against Buggy's words with all his might. "Don't you mess with me!" he roared. "I never would have dreamed that I'd realize my love for this village if it hadn't been for the likes of you." "Get down here right now," Boodle demanded. Disgust contorted Buggy's features as he retorted, "Go down there, I don't want to." In a swift motion, he fired his white-gloved hand, seizing the mayor's neck in a vice-like grip. Employing the power of his devil fruit abilities, Buggy effortlessly lifted Boodle off the ground, his men chanting for the mayor's demise. "Monster!" Boodle gasped, his voice strained. In a desperate act, he pummeled Buggy's hand with his fists, attempting to free himself. "What this?" he cried, his bloodied mouth contorted with pain. But his efforts were in vain, as Buggy's grip only tightened, forcing crimson droplets to escape his lips. "It hurts, damn it!" Buggy's irritation resounded through the air. "Are you an idiot hitting your own neck?" The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting long shadows over the peaceful village. The air hung heavy with tension as the elderly mayor, Boodle, struggles to breathe, his neck choked by Buggy's hand mid-air. "Tell me to come down there? Just who do you think you're talking to with such disrespect, old man?" Buggy sneered, relishing in his dominance. "Let me tell you who I am!" Boodle fought to keep his consciousness, knowing that he had to find a way to counterattack. He couldn't afford to close his eyes, not when the fate of the village hung in the balance. Buggy continued to revel in his infamy. "Soon the Grand Line will be within my grasp." I'm going to be the man who's got his hand on every treasure that glitters in this world. The world's treasure is mine. In this world, there is going to be no one but me who's got any treasure." Boodle's futile efforts to protect his village only fueled Buggy's amusement. The malicious pirate taunted him further. "If this village means that much to you, I suppose you would be greatly honored to become dust with it," Buggy sneered, lacing with cruel satisfaction. Summoning his last bit of strength, the defiant mayor challenged Buggy, determined to stand up for his people. "What the hell, you bastard? Fight me!" he shouted. Buggy regarded the old man with a serious gaze. In a cold, calculated tone, he issued his command. "Whatever! Blow it all apart!" The order hung in the air, a deadly threat to the village and all who stood in his way. High above the ground, Boodle contested him, shouting with all his might, "Don't do anything to this village! Fight me!" Buggy felt a sudden strain on his arm, as if his hand had been tightly gripped. His eyes widened in surprise as he glanced down, only to see a straw-hatted figure with a grin on his face. Luffy had appeared, just in the nick of time, separating the mayor and the hand. Looking at Buggy, Luffy proclaimed, "I've kept my promise. I've come to beat you." Buggy, forced by Luffy's grip, his hand went back as it reattached itself promptly. "So you come without a single trace of fear by your own will? You morons, you're all so dead," he bellowed. Nami turned to Zoro, sharing her motives in this perilous situation. "Listen, I don't care whether you fight or not, you guys do as you wish. I'm just here for the map and the treasure," she declared. Zoro agreed to her conditions. As Boodle regained his composure, he looked upon Luffy, Zoro, and Nami with a mix of gratitude and concern. His voice held a touch of disapproval as he questioned their return. "All of you. What did you come back for? You three just stay out of this. This is my fight," he declared, gripping his spear tightly. "I'm the one who must protect this village. Don't interfere," he proclaimed, as the mayor lunged forward towards Buggy, ready to protect his village. But Luffy had other plans. He slammed his head against the wall with incredible force, rendering the mayor unconscious with a single blow. Gasps of surprise filled the air as Boodle crumpled to the floor. His fight abruptly halted. You idiot!" Nami's voice rang out. "What the hell was that for? Why did you do that to the mayor?" Proudly, Luffy responded to her outburst, "Because he would just get in the way." Buggy and his men watched in awe, realizing they were facing an unpredictable individual. Zoro saw the logic behind Luffy's actions. "That was smart thinking," he remarked. "If you had left him alone, without a doubt, he would have charged recklessly. It's safer for him to be unconscious." But Nami couldn't suppress her frustration. She barked at Luffy, "Don't do anything unnecessary." Her words fell on deaf ears, as Luffy called out to Buggy loudly, "Hey you! Huge, red, ugly, big nose!" The declaration shocked Buggy and his crew, who were well aware of his overreaction to anything related to his nose. Even Zoro and Nami were horrified by Luffy's audacity. Buggy's fury reached its peak as he demanded his crew, "Fire the Buggy special cannonball! Fire! Be gone!" As the cannon fire hurtled towards them, both the swordsman and the thief instinctively sought cover, fearing for their safety. But Luffy stood tall and proud, facing the imminent threat head-on. "Are you trying to get yourself killed? You idiot! Luffy, dodge it!" Zoro and Nami warned him. But Luffy, brimming with confidence, responded cheerfully. "Do you think that cannonball will work against me?" His words carried a warning, and with that, Luffy began to suck in air, inflating himself with every passing second like a pump. "Gomu, Gomu, no!" Luffy exclaimed, his chest expanding into a large shape as he prepared to face the oncoming cannonball. The tension grew thicker as he unleashed his move, his voice ringing with resolve. "Balloon!" Caught within the grasp of Luffy's inflated form, the buggy ball ricocheted back towards its origin. Nami and the buggy pirates stood in stunned disbelief as the devastating power of the cannonball was turned against them. "He bounced it back!" Captain Buggy exclaimed, his voice filled with shock and disbelief. Zoro couldn't help but voice his annoyance. "Could have said something sooner," he muttered, his eyes narrowing as he observed the destruction wrought by the buggy ball. The explosion tore through the pub, reducing it to nothing but rubble and debris. Amidst the chaos, Luffy stood unscathed, his infectious joy evident in his words. "Their number has decreased! Shall we start?" he declared triumphantly. Nami's frustration peaked as she barked at Luffy once again, struggling to comprehend his unpredictable actions. "What the hell are you?" Zoro contemplated the events unfolding before them. "So much for blowing us up," he muttered.